Municipal Food Scrap Composting, a waste reduction toolkit. According to the most recent EPA data, 24% of food scraps that end up in landfills each year could be composted. Food waste diversion, which can include food scrap composting, is mandatory in Vermont. Recent changes to New Hampshire regulations have made municipal food scrap composting more accessible to towns and communities. Food scraps are any food product that is being discarded, whether or not it is edible. When putting together a municipal composting program, there are several factors to consider, including your facility permit, material collection, available land, quantity of material, appropriate equipment, staffing, public support and education, and finally, the marketing or end use of the compost. If your facility decides to start food scrap composting on or off-site, you may need to update your permit. Reach out to the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services permitting section for guidance based on the type of program you are setting up. Types of composting include on-site composting, where a transfer station receives and processes food scraps into compost, off-site composting, where a transfer station collects food scraps on-site and transfers them to another facility to be processed, off-site composting with a non-solid waste facility community collection center, and curbside collection by contracted food scrap haulers to be processed either on-site at the transfer station or off-site through a commercial composter. The space required for a food scrap composting program will depend on the location of the compost processing and the quantity of material being collected. Estimates for the average annual food waste generated per person ranges from 219 to 345 pounds each year. On-site compost processing can be done using windrows, which are very long, short piles that must be regularly turned, or by aerated static piles, which use a blower system to force air through the compost. Windrows are typically 10 to 16 feet wide, by 3 to 8 feet high, and around 60 feet long. Appropriate equipment for an on-site composting program must be able to handle movement, turning, watering, screening, and monitoring of the material. Further, a staff that understands the material and the composting process, including pile monitoring, quality control, and record keeping, is needed to ensure a successful program. Composting program costs will vary widely, depending on the size of the operation, existing equipment, staff availability, and so on. The total cost should include not only the capital and operating costs, but also avoided disposal costs such as tipping and transportation of MSW, any fees charged to residents to drop off food scraps, and potential revenue from compost sales. A municipal composting program requires good management and a high level of community involvement and support to be cost-effective. Involving the community from the initial planning onward, including regular tours of the compost operation and an effective feedback process, can help ensure a successful municipal composting program. A municipal compost program can be an effective tool to divert food scraps and decrease municipal solid waste. Compost is a visible reminder of the benefits of removing organics from the waste stream and creating a valuable soil amendment instead. If you have questions or need assistance, please contact the NRRA Member Services team for help.